Good morning, friends. Namaskar, Sat Sri Akal and Adab. This is my 237th video, and once again, this will be covering the issue of surplus lands and what are the policies of the government on this. I had read in my earlier video, Government of India, Ministry of Defence, letter number 11021/1 of 76, issued by the Director General Lands, dated 29th September 1977. Now, this is a letter which clearly read further that how surplus lands have to be declared and further how things have to be moved. Now, there was another letter issued by the Quartermaster General India, which was rendered to all the headquarters, Paschim Command Mukhyalay Chandi Mandir, Western Headquarters, letter number 57220/1, resumption 03 bracketed D, 18th April 1995. Copies to Headquarter 2 Corps, 11 Corps, Delhi Headquarters sub area, all station commanders within this zone, Punjab and Haryana. It talks of what? It may please be ensured that resumption of resumable properties is resorted to only when army needs the properties for specific purpose for which there is no alternative available. Now, the word specific purpose. Similarly, in resumption proceedings have already been initiated in stations that are surplus of land. Such proceedings will be stayed. In order to implement the above policy in correct perspective, please forward the following data. Properties that have already been resumed but have not been put to use or intend for what they have been resumed, along with the reasoning of it. Cases where resumption has been initiated in stations that are surplus of land as per KLP and station requirements of the formation. Recommendations may also be forwarded regarding the urgency or otherwise to initiate resumption or to hold proceedings further where necessary. So, friends, we need to just understand why the Quartermaster General is writing such letters. 77, you have a policy of surplus lands. 95, this is halt resumptions. Why are we being subject to the resumption policy? Why aren't we being subjected to the resumption if we are a grant under Governor General Order 179 of 1836? We are subjected to Regulation 6. Why aren't we being subjected to Regulation 7 and 8 of it? That how resumption has to be undertaken and how we have to be compensated. Our compensation goes under a policy. Why? This itself is a dispute. Now, there was a hue and cry in 2000, I remember 3, when some Brigadier Katoch had moved into the land sale, either in Chandi Mandir. I was not aware because I was not a part of the research at that time. So all these people from Firozpur, Jalandhar, Amritsar, Ambala moved and met George Fernandez. So there was a entire survey or a report made by the Under Secretary, Mr. Somi Tandon. Now, what does this Ministry of Defence letter ID number 23 bracketed 2 of 2003 Q&C dated 9th July 2003 speaks? Army headquarters have been projecting their requirement for resumption of properties held on resumable tenure, such as old grants and leasehold bungalows, under the MAP requirement. A team of officers comprising of Ministry of Defence, DG Lands, Army Headquarters was specifically deputed to look into the issues relating to resumption of old bungalows in Jalandhar, Firozpur and Ambala. For reports, it has been seen that the Army Headquarters representatives have highlighted the deficiency of land vis-a-vis their total requirement of land determined by KLP to the committee. Since the KLP was prepared long back under the 1971 order, it is essential to make the new KLP as per the 2000 order. So that means we have a wrong KLP for our cantonment. It has been brought to notice that each of these cantonments, presently vacant lands, camping grounds in closer vicinities are available. It is correct that legally government has the right to resume old grant bungalows or leasehold for defense purposes. It is inevitable to make a mass large scale of resumptions of old grant bungalows. It will take a huge time in completion in a process. Therefore, imperatively on part of the Army authority that all possible options, including utilizations of lands which are already available at the station headquarters, are taken into consideration for the planning of MAP. So, further there are military farms which can be used for MAP, where a complete chunk of MAP can come in. So, we need to understand, as per these letters, only two specific purposes are coming forward. One is MAP and one is OTM. What are these? We need to understand. It is held so long these lands is within 2-3 kilometers of the Army estate. Now, let's say a dairy farm is little far off from the main part of the cantonment. It says even then the MAP should be moved there. So, why just have resumption of an individual bungalow which may not fulfill the MAP requirement, and then the neighbor or the vicinity bungalows would be required. So, MAP may get defeated. Therefore, after thoroughly examining the entire issue relating to resumption, the problem of HOR and the availabilities of vacant land needs to be done in a time-bound manner in each cantonment, where MAP is to be taken in and in a holistic view, including determining the new KLP in the concerned cantonment before preparing the cases of resumption. If in this exercise any specific old grant bungalow is falling and is identified, such bungalow can be considered for resumption, if necessary, by providing an alternative land to that bungalow owner. Army headquarters may please issue necessary instructions for their lower formations to strictly adhere to the guidelines mentioned above under the intimation of this ministry. Now, this had the approval of Raksha Mantri then in 2003. What's left, friend? This is where I say pleadings become very important. No pleading, no evidence, no issue. These are all culminated into one. You can't go vicious in your pleadings. That is why I made that video for bungalow number 4 in Jalandhar. That what was his plain talking on resumption? It was vicious. It had nothing. Just like an RTI activist, you dig in some records and you tend to file that. GLR is purged, how it is purged is not spoken, when was it made, not spoken, what are the infirmities of the making of the GLR, not spoken. You can't just go vicious. I pray to God, guys, remember pleadings are very important. Why I say this? Because I am a victim to all this. I got these letters influxed when my case was going on in the High Court, but the judge refused to give me an opportunity of additional evidence under Order 41, Rule 27. Why? Remember, these 3 pillars of the Constitution are not for us. The legislative would only write letters. He will not sit on dharna against the army with us. The executives are least bothered about us. The judiciary, sorry, we don't have the pleadings, so can't blame the judiciary. We don't have the evidence, so can't blame the judiciary. Why? The judiciary doesn't allow us to seek production of documents. Judiciary does not allow us to go in for interrogatories. Why? Because the truth will prevail. So, somewhere we are hammered from all 3 corners, and the 4th corner is ourselves. I remember somebody posting on my video from Jalandhar, some Johnny Sharma or I don't know who, that Mr. Das, even tell us how many cases have you won. You know, we are such copycats and copy paste people. Had I won a single case in the judicial acumen, people would have run into it and they would have copied pasted it like they did it in 2008 when I was given a commercial notice and I won the court case there. So please, yeah, don't discriminate within yourselves. Wake up. We are old grants, never converted into new grants. Thank you. Good day.